Sometimes I really just want to take my pencil and put it on the paper and see where it takes me from there. The other day I did that and I came up with this drawing right here. And I liked it so much that I was like, hey, I think I should make this into a video because I just really like the drawing. Plus, I wanted to fill out some more of my sketchbook, so I said, why not? After being done with the sketch, I went ahead and lined it, but this time instead of using all black liner, I used different colored liners to give it a more soft look. Sorry in advance for my voice, I'm pretty sure I have a cold right now as well, so I'm gonna sound like Wade draws a lot instead of Ward draws a lot for a video or two until my voice gets back to normal. Also, I just want to add a quick shout out to this person right here, AMV Lord. They were really kind and wanted to shout out, and honestly, I appreciate that they watch my content. And honestly, that any of you watch my content and like what I do. So shout out to you, and honestly, shout out to everybody, because I'm extremely grateful that any of you take the time to actually watch what I do, and the fact that you guys like it always makes me smile. Thank you so much, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so now I could talk about the drawing. I haven't sketched in my sketchbook in like a good few days. I do, of course, do sketches that are off camera. Those are for like later on when I do a sketchbook tour. You guys can see those sketches and hopefully get to see what I do when I'm not on camera, if that makes any sense. What I mean by that is when I draw something on camera or like for YouTube, it's something a little bit more fully illustrated or done, or overall just a little bit more interesting than what I would normally sketch in the book. But honestly, I totally don't mind that because I really like doing full-blown illustrations. Sometimes they're just really fun. Last video, I didn't put it in my sketchbook because I put it on a special piece of paper so the blend could come out really nice. And overall, I just wanted to do it a different way. So I was starting to miss my sketchbook, and henceforth, that's why I did this video. Now, as I explained earlier, I didn't use black liner. Instead, I used brown, blue, and I did use some black liner for the eyelashes to help kind of emphasize that. But what I really wanted to do was make this a super soft drawing. When you change your line art color, it really makes a difference in how the drawing comes out. Black line art usually looks a little more harsh or stark, while colored line art looks super soft a lot of the time, and depending on the brand too, because I know my Copic liners are pretty light and you could kind of see the color right off, but whenever I would use my Micron liners, they were really dark and saturated in tone, and like the brown would look almost black, but the other colors weren't bad either. I do like Micron liners for that idea, is that if I want color but not too bright of a color, I could definitely use those. But if I'm really looking for something soft, I definitely use the Copic liners instead. When I was drawing him, I really wanted to try and get a different expression in. I usually do like some kind of a soft smile or just like a regular smile or any of the above, but I really wanted to try something a little bit more somber, which I felt like with this guy right here, there's like something almost sad about his face, but not to the degree where it's saddening. I kind of like that idea because I believe everybody's face holds like a different resting expression. Like I know some people, they say they have like resting bitch face and they look angry. I feel like some people just have a resting face of sad, or some that exude like some kind of joy. I think everybody has a different kind of like resting face. I really don't think it's just one or two or whatever. So I wanted to try and play that into this drawing somehow. And I feel like I did a successful job with that because he definitely looks very, almost doll-like. Have you ever seen like those old porcelain doll expressions where they're kind of very still? They have usually really red lips, and then their eyes are really big and doughy. I wanted to try and give that look to this guy, and I feel like I definitely came through with that, and I'm glad because I kind of wanted to push myself into that zone of, hey, what kind of face can I do and would it look good? And I really do think it came out pretty well. Also, completely off topic, but do any of you guys actually like the way porcelain dolls look? I do, but that's after years later of appreciating them, because when I was younger, I was really scared of them due to like horror movies that would revolve around dolls, and they got like a pretty bad stigma behind them. But now as like adult, I look at them and I'm like, wow, these are really pretty. And the fact that they were handcrafted is really cool. I also think like another reason people are afraid of those kind of porcelain dolls is due to a phenomenon called uncanny valley. Real quick, if you don't know what that means, the definition is a hypothesized relation between an object's degree of resemblance to a human being and the emotional response to the object. Those are a lot of big words, but basically when you look at something that isn't human but looks human, you get a weird feeling like, oh, this doesn't look right. Kind of like some movies generated over the years where they're like claymation, but they look like people, but they don't, and it looks kind of weird and creepy. Kind of like that. Alright, now I can get back to the drawing. One thing I really wanted to make sure that I drew on him was the big floof. I really like drawing that for some reason. I've always liked it for like, I don't know how long, but it's like a comfort thing to draw for some odd reason. So I really wanted to put that on him. I also felt like it kind of helped push a personality that we don't get to see because of his somber expression. Maybe he's like really into fashion or just really out there in general and just likes wearing big gaudy things, which I like. And then I think the thing that even pushes that factor further is that there's like no shirt under that. It's kind of just bare chest and then that, which is, I think, a really cool thing. Maybe he's just like super into. One thing that did happen and it upset me so much was that it smudged for some reason, which I didn't know how it smudged that bad, but it did. So I brought out some color pencils to help kind of fix that mistake, but I didn't have the right color pencil that I needed, which was the white one. I think I let my brother borrow that like a month ago and he never returned it, which is totally cool. I'll just get a new one. So I had to kind of work my way around that, but then I realized that the color that I used to fix the chest was way too pink, so I went in and erased it, which is a very dangerous thing because then I could have crinkled the paper or just straight up ruined the drawing. And I went in with a lighter yellow color that I found instead, so it doesn't look like he has like a chest rash, because I was like, man, that does not look good. So that ended up being fixed. And then I also went in with color pencils around his cheeks and then blended it out with marker to help kind of give it a more pink hue. I've never really used color pencils on top of marker, and I'm kind of scared to, like in a whole illustration, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I only know how to use markers in an illustration, and I don't want to mess up with color pencils or like make it look weird with them because I've not practiced it at all. One of these days though, I might do that. I might make a video where I just completely go in and try both and like conquer the fear of that. There's a lot of art supplies that I don't use because I just don't know how, or I'm really bad with them. Like I tried gouache like a few months ago, and man, they came out so bad. They came out horrible, and I haven't touched the gouache since, so maybe I should just try again and like really practice with them, or maybe I should just watch some videos or tutorials on it to try and help me understand them. The entire water world of art, so watercolor, gouache, anything that involves that just always kind of scares me because I do not know how to use it. But eventually I'm going to try and get over that fear and definitely try that out, because watercolor illustrations always look so cool, and I don't know how people do them in the slightest, and it's just like crazy because all artists really do use a different medium, and it's like another world entirely every single time. I think that that's so cool that other people use different things to get the result that they want, and that's just like awesome to me. Finally, we have like the last part of the drawing, which was basically my favorite part, and it was putting down the white highlights. I really feel like the white highlight helped make this drawing look so much more ethereal. Does that make any sense? It made it look really like fantasy-like almost. There's just something about the white highlight and his eyes and lips, and it really brought it together for me. And I just feel like his expression looks so much softer, even though it's still carrying that sad look to it. And overall, I really like this drawing, and I'm really happy with it. And it's one of the pages that I go back and look at every now and again, just because I'm really proud of how it came out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and remember, I love you. Bye.